All right. So I think, yeah, since freshman year, I've been reading books. I'm almost a senior now. I'm going to senior year. So I've been reading books for 3 years now. And sometimes it's been every week, sometimes it's been every 2 months. But I think I've been pretty consistent on reading over time. And so, as somebody trying to run and hopefully grow to a six-figure business at 17, these are some of the books that I wish I implemented right away, and I still am implementing to this day the principles and the strategies um, that these books have into my day to day life to be successful. So, for that, I just want to say this is the book I'm reading right now, Zig Ziglar's Secrets of Closing the Sale. I've heard good things about this book. I'm only like 50 pages in, but I think it's pretty good so far. Um, Very deep valued, no fluff. So it's going good so far. All right. So, oh, and I also want to say when you are going through a book, I like to always annotate. I always use either, just a highlighter and or a pen, and I'll either double up if it's something I really want to get into the first time. If I'm only reading it or I'm reading it multiple times, then I'll like skim through. I'll read it good, but I'll write stuff down, and then I'll go back the second time and take notes, either in the book or on docs or whatever it is, whatever's most convenient for you guys. But that's kind of what I do. So yeah, first book. Let's see, which one do I want to do? Let's do Personal MBA. For Personal MBA, I read this last fall. This is a pretty good book overall. Um, people say that replaces the 4 year business degree. I can't tell you because I'm not in college, but I will say it's very, very, very valuable. It has everything like finance to working with yourself to I think it has like I don't know, it has everything that you expect in a business MBA. But that's a great book to just getting the underlying like business principles down, realizing like how business works, how being an entrepreneur works systems wise, everything you need to know. Um, so yeah, good book. Personal MBA. It's pretty big. I think it's like 300, 400 pages. Good book. I read that last fall. Super cool. Um, Next book. Let's do, yeah. Second book under the top five right now that I'd suggest is Ego is Your Enemy by Ryan Holiday. It's this little book, right? It's tiny. But the underlying principles of this, there's the fact of it is everything that you need to be successful um, is on the other side of your ego. And I was thinking about this earlier today. Like I need to keep implementing this. Ego literally is your enemy because when you say to yourself, I've done this much, I should take a break. It's literally your ego. Like if you just put everything down and just say, oh, I need to get to my objective, and you just get rid of your ego, and you're just gonna keep on working towards it. Simple matter is with this book is just like cut the distractions, delay gratification, and just realize like what you've accomplished is not as big as you think, and you need to realize that, and you need to always strive for more. Don't fulfill your ego, just run. That's all you have to do. um, so yeah, it's a really good book. I like it because it reminds me to keep my head down, to be not passive but to know that I can do it, but it doesn't need to be shown that I need to do it. If that makes sense. So yeah, I read that a couple months ago. It's a pretty good book. I want to read it again, but like I said, I do underline it, so there's a lot of stuff I can skim through and just real quick look at. Third, this is actually probably one of my top books ever. It was my top book for a while, but I've read so many good books. It's called The Alchemist. It's a fictional book, and it's the only fictional book on this list. It's not in business. You won't find it in business or in self improvement. Most likely, you would just find it in a fictional section of a bookstore. But this book, it's a universal book. It doesn't just apply to entrepreneurship or business. It's more of a storytelling book about a guy named Santiago, I believe, who's a shepherd, and he goes on this journey. I don't want to spoil it or anything, but he goes on this journey, and stuff doesn't go as planned multiple times. The worst things can happen to him, and you kind of see how he deals with it. And there's so many just little life lessons in this book that you can pick out and filter and just put in your brain. I still have so many, like, I can just think of to this day, like right now, and it's just stuff that you really want to have that is just pure wisdom, in my opinion. This book is just so good on value and just wisdom and all these little things that you pick out. It just opens your eyes and you're just like, wow. So I would say this book is, it's an easy read too. Like it's like a chapter book. It has pictures too. Um, you see. But I've read this book 3 times now. Really good book. Highly recommend as like a first beginner read into what you really want to do, because this helps find your purpose. So yeah. Fourth book on the list. Let's do this book. How to Own Your Own Mind by Napoleon Hill. This book isn't so common. I know Napoleon Hill is pretty common. Think and Grow Rich. But Napoleon Hill hit with this book so well. This book teaches you just the fundamentals on self improvement, with finding your purpose to going the extra mile. I implement going the extra mile every single day. Such a good rule. The law of attraction. I have them written up here on my whiteboard. Applied faith, organized endeavor, applied golden rule. All of this stuff, he gives you like everything, because what he does is, I think he interviewed Andrew Carnegie, self-made billionaire, 13-year-old that was poor from Scotland, moving to the U.S., built up his company all the way to being a billionaire, one of the richest men ever to exist in the U.S. or in the world, but he made it in the U.S. So he interviews him, and he goes through everything in this book on how, as Andrew Carnegie, he became successful. Um, so good. Um, More of a business focused book than self improvement, but such a good book. And then lastly, I actually just read this book. It's my last book before I'm reading the sales book. But Patrick Bet David, I heard him talking about this book. It's called Meditations. The foreword's by Ryan Holiday, the same guy that wrote Ego is Your Enemy. This book is just so, a little backstory on this book. This book by Marcus Aurelius, he was a Roman Empire, or Roman. All right, my iPhone storage ran out, so I had to delete a couple things. Anyways, I think it was at Marcus Aurelius, but Marcus Aurelius, he wrote this as a Roman emperor to himself. So a lot of, most 99.9% of the books are written to somebody else. This guy wrote it to himself as a journal, and so it's just like a bunch of self-reflection, just a bunch of wisdom he wanted to keep within himself, and it got out, it got published, it's been revised, by a ton of authors. This one's by, or four was by Ryan Holiday, and just in general, this book has so much wisdom in it, so many things that you can just implement. It's more of like, if I give you anything without spoiling it, it's just about being a good human, good nature, and applying that to your life. You don't really care what other people think. Um, you put your energy where it's meant to be. You know, your energy, you are what your energy is devoted to. Stuff like that. That's one of the things he says that I keep in my mind, is you literally are where you put your energy to, where you put your focus to, which is totally true. And once you evaluate that, you realize I could be doing better. So I continue to work on that. But yeah, these are my top 5 favorite or books I'd recommend. I'd recommend right now. as somebody trying to scale to a six-figure business at 17. Um, my detailing businesses or my detailing business. So yeah, with that said, hope you guys found that valuable, and I hope to be posting more on this account in the future. Thank you guys.